Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Ocean's Pit, a little show about big things. Happy Friday. Black Friday it is, folks. That's right, Black Friday. I'm sure Black Friday. A lot of people are probably out. There's great deals, but we all know a lot of people are buying stuff online, so I don't think the stores are going to be as crazy as they used to be. Anyway, it's Ocean's Pit today. It is Black Friday, folks. It's the 28th of November. I hope you had an incredible Thanksgiving. I hope you guys are trying to work it off now by eating all that great stuff. But we got a show lined up for you today, guys. Check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. Give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, the men and women in the military, our veterans who fight for our country, and mostly, especially the people like you who take the time and watch a show here. Ocean's Pit. Same time, same station. Here we are today. Seventh Heaven. Take us in, baby. Thank you, Richie and the boys from Seventh Heaven. How you guys doing today? Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Hey, man, thank you for spending some Friday with us. And first of all, again, I hope you had an incredible Thanksgiving, you and your family. Our Thanksgiving was fantastic. But before we get into all the jokes and fun and all that good stuff that's going on, let's talk about our friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. It's Black Friday. You know what that means right now, folks? 25% off on all Carhartt clothes. 25% off Carhartt clothes. Now, that's while supplies last. Now, this year, they went all out. They went unique and quirky Christmas gifts, stocking stuffers, including the perfect pets. The life-like sleeping pet that breathes. They're wonderful companions for seniors and children, providing lifelike, loving ownership experience. Starting at $35.99. Man, what about this is some great stuff, folks. Free $10 gift card when you purchase a $50 gift card. Save up to $150 on Milwaukee Pack House. That's right. Save $50 to $150 on Milwaukee modular pack out tool storage system when you spend $199 or less. Christmas lights are on sale all month long. Outdo your neighbors with strings of 100 starting as low as $9.99. And folks, December 1st, 25% off on all Christmas merchandise. If you like waiting to the last minute to do your decorating for Christmas, go to JRC Ace Hardware and they can get 25% off all that great stuff. And don't forget 25% off all Carhartt clothes while supplies last. You can't beat it. That's Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. All right, so what do we start? A lot to talk about. Wednesday, the night before Thanksgiving, thank you to Bill and thank you to Frank from Postatanos in Oak Brook. A great success. All of you that came enjoyed the wonderful Wednesday night. Lisa P. on fire. Of course, Jerry Jams. And of course, Jerry had some problems with the laptop, so it was nice. Couldn't keep a charge. So we want to thank our good friend Double T, Tony Toto, for coming in. And so Jerry and Toto together combined everything and made the night a big success. And we thank you all for coming out. We really do appreciate great seeing you all. So it was a lot of fun. And of course, tonight is Black Friday. We'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse tonight with Double T, Tony Toto. That is tonight. And tomorrow, Tony Ocean and the Main Event Band Double T, Tony Toto, and Danny Ramundi will be at Bellagio in Roselle off of Lake Street. It's a 7:30 hit, and I hear our good friend Christian Knievel will be joining us for a couple of songs, so I'm excited about that. So it's a nice, busy weekend, and I hope you guys all come out and support local establishments and some fun. What am I going to tell you about Thanksgiving? Laura and Natalie did a great job preparing everything, and everybody, my sister bought some pies, everybody bought some stuff, pitched in, and the whole family was there. And we talk about this all the time when it comes to holidays, the hustle and bustle of getting up early 2 days before, preparing all the food, putting it together, laying it all out there, putting a beautiful spread on the kitchen table. With decorations and everything just looks perfect. The tree and everything's ready for the holidays as well. Even though it's Thanksgiving, we just want to get everything a very holiday spiritual, and everybody gets there and they eat, and the eat probably takes 25 to a half hour. The food is done, and everybody's on the couch, and out cold. So we started, the day started about 11 o'clock by us, and by 4:30, everybody was wiped out. I took my mom home, and then we just sat back and just relaxed. So I hope you all had an incredible Thanksgiving, and it's nice that everybody gets together and just enjoys, and that's what it's about. It really is. I also want to thank my good buddy Matt Cassane, who was on the show Wednesday. We talked about the assassination attempt, of course, of 35th President Robert F. Kennedy 62 years ago, November 26, 63. So it was good. Well, thank you for all the people who watched that show, and it was a lot of fun. But we're dealing today with Black Friday, and we're going to kind of keep it kind of loose today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, of course, so let's get down to some of the stories here, which is very interesting. DoorDash. How many people order from DoorDash? DoorDash admits they change your prices based on your past behavior. So what they're trying to say, here is the price when you order from DoorDash. But if you were a jerk or a bitch or whatever it was to the driver or to the procedure or the company, next time they come to your home, they'll raise the price. DoorDash actually comes out and says that. So the moral of the story is be kind to your DoorDash guys so you don't get screwed over. I mean, they just come out and tell you that. Wow. Keith, how you doing? You watching any high school championship football today? I will be heading to ISU tomorrow. Oh, buddy, Keith? No, I'm not watching much football today. I'm not even going to watch the Bears and the Eagles. But you know what? Love the college football out there, and I hope you have a good time out there, Keith. Be careful and stay warm, my friend. It's cold. Women are incredible. Thank God, right, Boyd? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, buddy, you and your family. Carol, I hope you had a nice birthday as well. David, Ryan Lewis, how you doing? Yeah, 10 inches of snow. I know. So, and we're going to get to that too, the 10 inches of snow. Anyway, so Dick Say It, I see tonight, Alderman. So here you go. So this morning, Black Friday, and I guess a tradition for me before I met Laura, and actually it was never really let's run out to the stores on Black Friday to buy certain stuff. Me not having a very big family, it was only me, my sister, my mom, and dad. So really it wasn't crazy for us. High school football. I'm sorry, Keith. High school. I don't watch too much of any those kind of sports, but I know you're going to have a lot of fun there. And, sports in general is one of my favorites. And I hope you have a good time, Pelly. So this morning, a tradition that Laura's had for 20 years and her and her family, they go to home and they got these poinsettias. Now, mind you, and we went live today. Thank you for everybody that actually commented. That was over 2,000 views. So thank you for that. To the point where you're running to Home Depot for either the drills or TVs or whatever they might have at Home Depot to get sales on, right? No, poinsettias, folks. I remember when I first met Laura, I go, what do you guys do on Black Friday? You're up at what, 4 in the morning? And we were up at 5 to get ready to do this. And now, through the past years, it would be a madhouse in there. Now, the last couple of years that I can remember, Ohio State versus Michigan. All right, so I don't know who you guys are going through, Ohio State or Michigan, but I'm hoping. Maybe Michigan. I don't know. But either way, hey, I hope you guys enjoy the games that you're watching today. So we went into we get about 30 poinsettias. And like I was saying earlier when we went live today, they used to be 99 cents and now they're like $1.25, which is still a good deal because normally I think they're like $6 or $7 normally. But back when my wife used to work for Redfin in the office, she still works for Redfin, but she used to go to the office in Rosemont. So we'd get like 30 of these poinsettias early in the morning, load up the car and everything. And then when we have to drive her to work, she would go upstairs and bring the poinsettias and put them on everybody's desk. So when they came to work, I was like, oh, look at these nice poinsettias. Right. Now she's been working from home now for the last, 5-6 years. So now we get about 30 poinsettias. We put them up all over the house, and then we give them out to guests who come by for Christmas or when the kids leave and everybody, so they have a poinsettia to take home. So that's what I spent my morning on, doing that and getting some stuff for Christmas because everybody else wants cash usually, right? That's how it is. So, Brian Jurgensen, what's up, buddy? Hope you're well, Brian Jurgen. How you do, pal? Hope you're doing well out there, everybody. My mouth today. Blah, 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 blah. All right, we know we're talking football. You guys are talking about high school football, college football. We're talking about the Bears and the Eagles. And I think I bought this up once before. Emo, it was great seeing you Wednesday, brother, at Positanos. Thank you, my brother. And you and Peter Prado, was great seeing you both. Poinsettias, there you go. Coming by for 29 points. Now they're $1.25, but they were 99 cents at one time, Brian. There you go. All right, so football. And I can't speak for high school football or college football, but I'm talking about the NFL professional football, okay? Now, usually it's 3-4 hours, right, of game time. But if you actually find out how many minutes of actual football is played in a regular season NFL football game, right? The game starts at 12. It's over by 3, whatever, 2:30, whatever it is, right? Actually, from snap to finish, you're looking at between 20 to 24 minutes only is actually played, because the rest of it's commercials, timeouts, challenges only. That's it, folks. Between 20 to 24 minutes is actual football playing. Check it out. Google it yourself. Mind-boggling to me when I first found out about it. All that time. And actual time from snap to finish, 20 to 24 minutes. Yeah. 20 to 24 minutes, not 2 hours. Not 2 hours, Ryan. It's 2 hours that you're watching the game, but actual football playing. Google it. It's 20 to 24 hours of actual football playing, not the whole commercials and the halftime and all that bullshit. Yeah, it's crazy. Yolanda, I hope you're doing well. You're watching Ocean's Pit. Here's a couple things people threw at me, and I never knew it. Pair of blue jeans. You buy blue jeans, and they got those little buttons, rivets on your pants pocket. Did you ever wonder what they were for? And I think I might have even mentioned this before, too. Someone said it was back in the day to hold a watch chain and stuff like that. No, they're not buttons. They're stress points to reinforce the pocket. That's why they put them on, so the pocket doesn't rip. That's what these little rivets, that's what they're called, jean gold rivets on your jeans. That's what they are. They're not buttons. That's what it's for. It does. Stress points to reinforce the jeans. Crazy. Now, you want to know even what's more crazy? I hear about the story according to ABC Channel 7. Woman found alive in a coffin. This woman was ready to be cremated. Supposedly, this woman was supposed to be dead. When they opened up the coffin to get ready to do what they had to do, she's still alive. The woman was still alive in the coffin. You know what's interesting about the stories that you hear these days on regular television or Soldiers Field and all that crap? Isn't this insane? And nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing surprised me. Remember back in the day, we'd hear stories and be like, oh my God. Ellie Weinhardt, what's up? Ellie Weinhardt's one of the best Joan Rivers, the best Lucille Ball. What a great actress she is, comic actress. She does it all. She was in the movie A League of Her Own with Madonna and Gina Davis and Tom Hanks and Rosie McDonald when she was cool. Ellie Weinhardt, make sure you check her out, man. We got to get her on the show. It's been a while since you've been on the show. So, yeah, imagine finding this shit out. That is the secret. That, you know what, boy? Thank you. We're finally on the same page. Yeah, we're going to get to that, especially with the horrible thing that happened with the National Guard. And of course, we're going to get everybody's opinions on that, but we're going to get to that a little later. Here's something that I thought I would never, there's something I never thought would happen. A conservative party, believe it or not, a conservative group has planned a MAGA day at Disney. That's right, folks. February 28th, 2026, there's actual conservative group all meeting at Disney for a MAGA party. If you do remember, there was some rumors or something that came out that some guy got kicked out of Disney for wearing a MAGA hat or MAGA t-shirt or whatever it was. Now they're going to have a conservative group February 28th. So if you're a little afraid, you might not want to go to Disney that day for some of you people that are against the party. You know, I haven't heard Hong Kong fire killed 7. Yeah, that's also coming up too, Ryan. Thank you for telling me that. Yeah, that's crazy too. It's horrible what everything is going on here. The Hong Kong fire killed 70 people. It's a sad world, folks. It's a sad world. It's just like every time there's something on, you try to say things that are positive stories, but it just doesn't happen. It's just crazy. You know what's even more crazy? They hear about this new band, death metal band called Hatebeak. There's a death metal. Now listen, I don't care for death metal music. I'm not much for grunge music. I'm mostly the 60s, 70s pop kind of stuff. That's me. And you guys probably know that already. Of course, the Sinatra Rat Pack stuff. But this I think is so cool. Michael Baglieri, how are you doing? My good buddy from New York. Of course, talking about Mike and Good Clean Fun and the Taylor Swift Experience and AM Radio Gold. That's right. My good friend Michael. I hope you and everybody's having Tracy and the band and everybody doing very successful. Touring around the country, buddy. I'm glad of all the success you guys are having, and I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. And if you're in town, come by Tony Ocean Birthday Bash on the 27th of December at Taverna on Division, or JMOS on the south side of Chicago on the 28th. Yeah, Robert Provenzano, I hope you're doing well. Okay, so there's a death metal band. Follow me on this. They're called Hatebeak. Hatebeak. Ladies and gentlemen, their lead singer is a parrot named Waldo. It's a parrot. His name is Waldo, and he's the lead singer of the death metal band Hatebeak. How original and how cool is that? I haven't heard them yet. I haven't downloaded to listen to it, but it's pretty funny. It's got to be funny, but it's genius. Genius. Waldo the Parrot. Hatebeak is the name of the death metal band. Sandra, I hope you're doing well. I hope everybody's doing well. All right, let's get to some headlines here. It's dangerous. Listen to this quote. It's dangerous to have jealous people around you. They look at you as competition while you look at them as a family or friends. Be careful. I think in life, we've probably all been through this sometime in your circle. They might be in your circle, but they're not on your team. It's scary. I've heard a lot of stories how people that you thought were so close to you and just will, and it happens, unfortunately, in this crazy world. But be careful. And the problem is this kind of stuff you really don't know. You really don't know. It's a bombshell lawsuit. Here it is. You're hearing it for a first time. And I don't know if you can even see this because of the light, but maybe you can. Remember I told you today we're going to got some funny jokes and some good stuff. We're going to have some good laughs for the next half hour stuff. Chelsea Clinton sues Monica Lewinsky claiming ex-intern swallowed her brother. Oh, you can't make this stuff up, folks. Oh, I love jokes. You know what? That's what I mean. Even these days when you have to look at stuff, folks, and you just got to laugh. You just got to laugh. Speaking of New York City, this is from Adeline, truthbomb.mom, social media outlet. Maybe we need to remind New Yorkers that Venezuela went from third richest country in 1992 to eating zoo animals because of socialism. Well, thank you, Adele, for sending that in. History isn't being taught, so it's doomed to repeat. I get some weird stuff sent to me a lot of times, folks, and I get some stuff, and I'm going to tell you, to me, it's important because you guys, freedom of speech, people can say whatever they want, and I still believe that we have freedom of speech. Thank God for that. It really is. All right, so that's an interesting story. Let's get to some over here, folks. Heinz leftover gravy. Supposedly it's a joke, but Heinz, who make ketchup, of course, supposedly they're coming out with something called leftover gravy. So you buy it. So when you have the leftover turkey and stuff like that, they can sell it in a jar or sell it in a plastic container. Whether that's true, I guess it was influenced, or I guess Friends came up with the idea of the TV show Friends. I never watched it, but that's what it said it came from. So interesting. Interesting. Ryan, how are you doing? Cowboys beat Kansas City. Yeah, so Kansas City was nice seeing Kansas City losing, and they will not even make the playoffs this year. They're 6-5. So you must be careful out there, but our social climate leaves us jaded. Good point. I like that too, Boyd. Very good. I told you, you're in the wrong business. Greeting cards, T-shirts are perfect for you because you are good. This guy comes up with a lot of good shit. All right, so the Bears and the Eagles. My prediction, if you guys know me, I'm not a Bears fan. I have to admit they've got a lot better, but they've also beaten 500 teams. Now, they did beat I think they beat two. They beat the Cowboys, didn't they? And they beat the Lions, if I'm correct, or whatever it was. My opinion, since both teams are 8-3, I believe, now the Bears are only getting 7 points. I believe the Eagles will win. They are a better team, my opinion, which doesn't mean shit. But they are also in Philadelphia. So I think the Eagles will take this one. Thank you, David. I think Eagles should win at home. Of course, there will be those Bears fans out there that think that they can do no wrong. So, but that's just me. Danny Seagren has passed away, and he was one of the puppeteers who controlled Big Bird. Remember watching Sesame Street? I always wondered who was inside the costume of Big Bird. Died at the age of 81 years old. Packers beat the Lions. Whoa, what a great game that was. See, that's why I like to see games like that. When it's back and forth. The Packers had the ball, they scored. The Lions had the ball, they scored. It was fan. Jordan Love was on fire, on fire. And it was great. Of course, they won 31-24. It was a very close game. But the Packers did it. They did a great job. So congratulations to the Green Bay Packers. Tony, if you're not lucky, you're not Boyd. If you're not lucky, you're blessed. There you go. And that's Boyd. You're saying it right to the heart, brother. You really do. It really is happening. Things that happen. You either say, "Boy, that guy was lucky," or "She was lucky," or we're just blessed. First of all, we're blessed that we're all alive right now. We woke up this morning. We're blessed just for that alone. We're blessed for that alone. Violet, good afternoon. I hope you're doing well. I hope the Pletcher family had a great Thanksgiving, both of you guys. All right. There's a couple interesting stuff here. The great quote by the great Groucho Marx. I don't care to belong to any club that will have me as a member. The great Groucho Marx. I love Groucho Marx, man. Even though, of course, it's old school and everything. One of the funniest comics ever. What a genius this guy was. I don't care to belong to any club that will have me as a member. That's me. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Some more sad news. Alice and Ellen Kessler, they were actresses and singers. Both of them, they were sisters, actually. And they did a joint assisted suicide. They decided to end their lives together at the ages of 89 years old. Both sisters took their own life. I can't imagine someone going through that or even wanting to do that. I've known one gentleman in my life that I know committed suicide. I can't imagine what it must be like or to even have those thoughts. But these two sisters, 89 years old, didn't want to be, maybe one was, I didn't know the whole story, but one of them probably was sick or the other one was sick and they didn't want to be without each other. So they just ended their lives together. Prayers goes out to the Kessler family. Wow. That's so. And I think we mentioned this yesterday. I remember the only fake news that we used to have growing up. The fake news was the National Enquirer and the Star, right? That magazine, even though it was crazy, it was on every newsstand when you used to check out at the grocery store. There it was. We'd all glance at it. You know, Bigfoot is dating, whatever. Burt Reynolds is dating the Bigfoot girl version of whatever it was. But crazy stories. But now, and we've discussed this topic over and over and over and over again. It's like every channel has their own opinion on what's happening in this crazy world. This is interesting, and this will be huge if this is true. FDA has just came out with a brand new product for eye drops. 128 million Americans have problems with their eyes. There's new eye drops to be able to put in. It'd be good for 10 hours to eliminate the use of contact lenses and glasses for 10 hours. I only wear glasses when I'm doing this show or when I'm off usually. But when I'm doing my performance, if you see the live Tony Ocean show, I don't wear glasses. So I can see the audience well. I don't drive. When I drive, I wear glasses. But to be able to go on a couple hours before and you put these drops in your eyes and you don't need the glasses would be a miracle. So for the FDA to approve this, if this is true, imagine how expensive it would be, number one. But I think people would love it. I've seen the sisters so many times on Italian TV. They were great dancers, yeah, and they also worked with Frank Sinatra, Emo. If you can choose a place to die, it would be in your arms, Bell Bottom Blues. Bell Bottom Blues, yeah, Eric Clapton, right? Alabama, Auburn. You want Auburn? Okay, see, Ryan, I guys, I don't follow college that much at all or high school. So I couldn't tell you what team is what team when it comes to college sports or high school sports. And I think why I never got into college, because I never went to college. You ever notice that a lot of my friends who went to college, the colleges they went to is that what, that's where they're really into college, or their kids go to college and that kind of stuff. So it never really got to me, to be honest with you. I wonder if it's good for dry eye. Violet, I don't know. That'd be interesting too. People that can't see, but if this is kind of cool, it would be very interesting to see. Very interesting to see. Okay, they're ditching now. Guys, this store. You go to Walmart, or you go to the airport, or you're going somewhere and you see somebody walking with their coffee, headset on, and they got their pajamas on, and they got their slippers on, and they're walking through the airport, or they're getting on the plane, or they're walking into Jewel or Walmart doing their shopping. Listen, I have to admit, in the morning, sometimes when I'm out at Walmart, I might not look the best dressed. That I promise you. But I will not be in slippers and pajamas. This should be not allowed on airplanes. Donald, my friend, I hope you're doing well, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving. So now they're kind of come down on people to get on airplanes that are dressed in slippers and pajamas. Folks, here's the thing about slippers and pajamas. If you're wearing slippers, maybe not necessarily slippers, if you're wearing pajamas and you're in shopping or you're getting on a plane, that means you did not shower that morning, because nobody's going to take off their pajamas, get in the shower, and put the pajamas back on to get on get on an airplane. So it's disgusting. Carol, you've seen a lady with PGs and slippers on in Walmart. Come on. They need to ditch that, and I hope they really, really do. Also, people into golfing. Fuzzy Zarella, if I pronounced it right, golfing champ, dies at the age of 74 years old. If you watched the Lions in Detroit game, halftime, White Stripes, Jack White. I don't know nothing about the White Stripes. I know the name of the band. I know Jack White, but I don't know what songs they sing. I could not tell you. I guess, but they played the halftime because I remember watching it while we were watching the game on Thanksgiving between the Packers and the Lions. And then all of a sudden, Eminem shows up. Everybody was crazy over it. I don't even know what Eminem sings. I have no idea. I know he's a rapper, but I couldn't tell you an Eminem song. So anyway, but the audience looks like they were very excited. So God bless for that. You're watching Ocean's Pit. I hope you have a good way. Gina Fazio and I will come to the show. Oh, good. Gina Fazio, she's a sweetheart. She's the best. Please give her my best. Donnie Morrison, live from Florida. Donnie, you've been gone a month. That means you probably aged about 10 years from all that bingo and shuffleboard and happy hours at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Donnie, you're missed, my brother. I hope you're doing well. You're watching Ocean's Pit. This is interesting. Very funny. Wait for Bunny Super Bowl. Yeah, I will not watch halftime. I never watched a halftime before on Super Bowl. I know this Bad Bunny is supposed to be performing. Some people say he is. Some people say he isn't. I don't know yet. I guess we'll have to find out when the Super Bowl is. That's the time I get up and I go stretch, and when halftime comes, I really don't care for all that lip syncing and all that bullshit dancing and all that crap. I don't get into it. Whatever. A lot of people like it. The younger generation like it. A lot of the kids like it. I just don't get into it. So, give me a good rock band playing that halftime, and I'd be happy to see that. That I would watch. I think the only two halftimes I do remember watching, I remember watching McCartney, if I'm correct. I remember watching The Who, Springsteen, I think. Eminem produced the show as well. Okay, there you go. Patrice, former Honey Bear, is in the house. I'm sure she's excited about her Bears and the Eagles. Okay, so this is interesting. You get a milk jug. You ever noticed, and some people might know, when you go out and buy milk, the milk jug, the 2% gallon milk. And or even sometimes on a half a gallon. You see that little indention on the actual bottle of milk, the jug of milk. Ever wonder the dent? It looks like it's a dent. Ever wonder what it is? Now, someone said, and it gets partly true. Someone said it allows expansion on the milk. It also helps with if the milk turns bad, supposedly. But you ever wonder why that dent is in the milk? Yeah, that's right. Super Bowl, February 8th, 2025. You mean 2026, Ryan? The Super Bowl will be February 8th, 2026, not 2025. Neil Diamond is performing. I don't know about that. But look at the milk jug and the dent on the corner. Interesting. Someone said it explodes, not explodes, but it extends out when the milk is spoiled. Now, I don't know if that's true, but it says that's part of the reason why. Also, it allows expansion and support when you can grab the milk. Interesting. More useless information here on Ocean's Bed. But here's something that's not useless and horrible. And while everybody was Thanksgiving with their families, eating meals and watching football and celebrating a beautiful day, of course, the horrible assassination of two National Guard members, of course. It's just sad, and I'm sure you heard the story, and I'm sure two of them shot. Unfortunately, Sarah, make sure I pronounce this right, Beckerstone, if I pronounce this right, she was shot, and she's a deceased. She did pass away. She did not make it. Both, when they first shot, were actually in critical condition. Andrew Wolf, I think, did survive. Our prayers go out to the families of these two National Guard men and women there to protect, to help fight for our country. And of course, and the guy who supposedly, the guy they caught who done it, I'm going to butcher this guy's name. You know what? I'm not even going to waste mentioning this piece of shit's name. And what he yelled when he did the attack. Alaha, Akaba, whatever, if I'm even pronouncing that right. Just a horrible thing to happen in our country. It's sad. It really is. I don't know what to say. We're all festive and Thanksgiving, and then you got to put news like that. It's just horrible. If Trump didn't send the National Guard there, they'd still be alive. Okay, now I knew we were going to get there. And you know what, guys? I'm sorry. The National Guard needs to be at certain places. We cannot say anything. We can also say if Charlie Kirk wasn't there, he wouldn't have been assassinated. If Kennedy didn't go to Dallas, it wouldn't be assassinated. Let's not even go there. Let's not go there. It's a sad thing. The National Guard's supposed to be there. That's what they're there for in certain spots when they're sent to be in. We can't use that comment, guys, if they weren't there. Well, that's just like saying my buddy died in a car accident, but if he didn't drive, he still would be alive. Two people are dead. One person is dead. One's in critical condition. Our prayers, all we need to hopefully and pray. Of course, everybody's going to blame President Trump because he gets blamed for everything, whether you like him or not. We're not the reason why one person is dead and the other person is critical condition. That's the sad thing. That's the part that we should be talking about. How did this guy get into the country in the first place? If you want to go back, let's go back to Joe Biden, President Joe Biden. Want to go there? So let's just stop at all this. And the most important thing is that these two people, again, I missed the point, of course. Of course, I missed the point. But, you know, I'm not the only one that misses the point. What I'm trying to say is that's the most important thing now is that we need to somehow, some way come together and stop all this craziness. And if they're going to keep blaming it on the president, ladies and gentlemen, we still got 2-3 years left with this president. And this is what you people are going to tell me? This what's going on? You mean to tell me that if he wasn't president of the United States right now, none of this stuff would be happening? I think this world is as screwed up as it is, guys. It doesn't make it right that it happened, Boyd. You're absolutely right. Nobody should have to go through that. Nobody should have to do that. You're absolutely right. But what if it was how about a police officer that goes to work every day? And if he gets shot on duty, he has to be there, right? So it's just sad. It's sad. And is this ever going to stop? This is what our future, our kids and grandkids have to look forward to, this crazy world that we live in. Gigi, and if your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle. What if? Gigi, how are you doing? Oh, okay, so there you go. See? It's all what if. You're absolutely right. But our point is today is our prayers for that family. Of course, one woman she's deceased and the other one's in critical condition. The whole family's torn apart. I mean, unnecessarily on both ends. Tony D, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing. This is just the beginning of the madness. Yeah, it is, unfortunately. Hi, Gigi. I hope you're well. It is the madness, and that's the same thing every time you put something on television. Every time you put, it's just one thing after another. Crazy, guys. I'll tell you something that's not crazy. The Chicago Music Cruise, NTD Vacations. That's right. The Chicago Music Cruise is going to happen January 17th to January 24th. 7-night Western Caribbean cruise, Miami, Honduras, Costa Maya, Cozumel, Ocean Cay. It's Tony Ocean, the main event band, and Seventh Heaven. It's going to be a lot of fun. Go to chicagomusiccruise.com, put in Tony O, or give Mary a call at 630-688-1725 and tell them Tony O sent ya. Chicago Music Cruise. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, our good buddies from Armando Supermarkets, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Buy local, shop local. Our good friends from Armando's. All right, guys, it is that time for the weather. And, of course, another thing they're going to predict. Ooh, and that's actually starting tomorrow. But for today, Black Friday on the 28th of November, it's 30 degrees out there, 49% humidity, 8-mile-an-hour winds. Are we getting ready for the big snowstorm? Supposedly it's supposed to come sometime tomorrow into Sunday, 8, 9, 10 inches. I don't know what the actual amount, if any. I know we're going to get snow. I just don't know. So the guys and people that are listening, how many inches do we going to actually get of snow? I'm thinking that if they say 8 to 9, you cut that in half, maybe 4 to 5, 4 to 5, 3 to 4. If you're upper near Wisconsin, up north, there's going to be more snow. I hear people freaking out. They're going to get bread and going to get milk because they're going to be locked in. You know, guys, this is something that happens every year about this time. It's called winter. It's called Chicago. It's called Windy City. It happens. It happens. Black Friday. Now, we got a busy week coming up next week, folks. Actually, we're only going to have a show on no show on Monday, no show on Wednesday, no show on Thursday. So next week, there's only 2 shows of Ocean's Pit because we're doing gigs during the day. So we have next Tuesday with Carol Brandolino, and next Friday, 2 shows next week. And what we got coming up next week, like I said, we have a Monday show, a senior show with Double T and Bill Saratella. And then a Tuesday, we will have a show here on Ocean's Pit. Wednesday, we have two shows. One show on in the afternoon. Thursday, we have two shows. We have one at Ron Onesti's Club Arcata Speakeasy. That's next Thursday for a luncheon, which I think is sold out. Yours truly, Bill Saratella as Frank Sinatra, and Wendy Thompson as Marilyn Monroe. And then that night, Thursday night, we'll be at the Tivoli Theater for a holiday Christmas show with Ocean's Rat Pack and Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones. And then, of course, Friday, we will be back on the show. Next Saturday, we'll be in Indianapolis and Mad Hatters, Ocean's Rat Pack in Indianapolis. I love Indianapolis out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited about that. All right, you're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things, folks. What if we get some, let's try to humor some stuff. But before we do that, James Gandolfini, one of great Italian-American actors that we lost, of course, better known as Tony Soprano of The Sopranos. James Gandolfini's last meal was 4 rum shots, 2 pina coladas, 2 beers, 2 orders of fried prawns, and of course, he died of a heart attack. 51 years old. Very, very sad. Everything in moderation, folks. Everything in moderation as we can. All right, let's get some jokes here for you. Here's some jokes sent in by Taylor from Hillside, Illinois. What do a clitoris and an anniversary and a toilet have in common? The question is, what do a clitoris, an anniversary, and a toilet have in common? Men usually miss them all. Oh, there's something to make you laugh during lunch. Thank you, Taylor. Oh, yes, this was sent in by Chasing Cars from Skokie, Illinois. An 80-year-old man asked his wife, "Do you feel sad when you see me running after young girls?" His wife replied, "No, not at all. Even dogs chase cars they can't drive." Oh, another funny one. You guys are good. You guys are. Here's another one sent in by Kirk from Wilmette, Illinois. I was banging this one. Excuse me. I was having sexual affairs with a woman on the kitchen table when she heard the front door open. She said, "It's my husband. Quick, try the back door." Thinking back, I really should have ran, but you don't get that offer every day. Oh, come on. This got to be making you laugh right now. What did the cockroach say to the guy who... Wait, let me tell you who this is from. This is from Michael from Berwyn, Illinois. What did the cockroach say to the guy that was about to step on him? "You're just jealous that I can't make your wife scream louder than you can." Guys, can you ever send me some jokes that are clean? All right, Christmas is right around the corner, of course. We're going into December now. Holidays, Christmas. How about the 15 best Christmas towns in the USA? Now, if you want to go to a Christmas town that, just looks like those Hallmark movies that we watch all the time, I'm not going to give you 15. I'm going to give you the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Park City, Utah comes in at number 5. Harrisburg, California comes in at number 4. Orlando, Florida comes in at number 3. Leavenworth, Washington comes in at number 2. And of course, the best, Aspen, Colorado. Best when it comes to towns for getting ready for the holiday. James Brown was the first African-American to own a private jet. Cool. Did not know that. James Brown made history as the first African-American to own a private jet when he purchased his 1965 Learjet 23 with aircraft dealer Robert Kraft. A legendary performer, was a longtime aviator, who owned multiple planes. The great James Brown. I feel good. No. All right. A married couple is celebrating their marriage, one that happens to be the longest ever recorded. Now, we talk about this. People have been married how many years? Lyle Gittins, 108 years old, and his wife, Eleanor Gittins, 107 years old, were awarded titles from the Guinness World Record as not only the oldest living married couple, but also the oldest married couple ever on Wednesday, November 5th. Wow. Congratulations. That's interesting. You know, as all the crazy here, and I like some positive stories. How about this? In a landmark medical achievement, a 13-year-old boy has become the first person ever to be cured of terminal brain cancer. Through an innovative and aggressive treatment approach, Dr. Successfully disease offering new hope to patients. This is great. I love when I hear stories about someone being cured or someone getting healed like that. With technology these days, a 13-year-old boy, his whole life will be changed now. So kudos and more good news, which is very, very important, which what we need. Science fact. James Brown also owned the gift shop at Caesar's Palace in Vegas. Oh, Dave, I did not know that. Emo, the first song that James Brown had was Please, Please, Please. Okay, I don't know much about James Brown's music. But thank you guys for that. Science fact, the dog gets more factual information from sniffing another dog's butt than from humans watching CNN. Thank you, Richard, for sending some of this stuff in. Okay. Now, Kathy Eppolito, how are you doing, my dear friend? Happy Thanksgiving, you and your family. Here's a woman that tries to do the right thing. She donated her kidney to her boss and then got fired for taking too long to recover. Debbie Stevens, 47-year-old Long Island lady, made headlines after donating a kidney to help her boss receive a transplant through a donation chain. Though the gesture was voluntary, Stevens claims the goodwill was met with hostility once she returned to work. After experiencing post-surgery complications, she asked for reasonable accommodations, such as less physical demanding tasks, easier restroom access, but says her requests were denied. According to Stevens, her boss not only refused to make adjustments, but demoted her, moved her to a distant office, and ultimately fired her from what was described as poor performance. She filed a complaint under the disability discrimination laws. Well, the case was settled in 2014. Her terms were private, included for formal acknowledgement. Crazy. So I guess the moral of the story is be careful who you donate your kidney to. That's the moral of the story, folks. Moral of the story. Another joke. This is actually from Hank from Hillside, Illinois. Why do women have to cook for their men? That's what the wife says. Husband, because by law, all prisoners need to be fed. Jokes you shake your head to. That's right, folks. You can't make this stuff up. Ron Schammert. Ron, I don't know if you're listening, but love this. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth simply because they don't want their own illusions destroyed. You can't get more than that. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth simply because they don't want to hear their own illusions destroyed. Great quote. Thank you, Ron Schammert, for sending that in. And I hope you're well if you're listening, buddy. There's so much stuff that people are sending in, and it's hard. Look, for you gamblers out there, you ain't going to believe this. For you gamblers out there, baggage claim in Italy built for degenerates to gamble on their luggage. This is all the degenerate flying to Italy, folks. Listen, a sea baggage claim in Venice, Italy, added a casino. Travelers can bet on their own luggage. Plus, they added slot machines and gaming tables. So that means, when you finish, you're boarding off the plane and you get to the air, go to get your luggage, and you sit there and you wait for your luggage to come out, right? Well, here in Italy, folks, they around the whatever you want to call that, the terminal, right, where you pick up your luggage. If your bag falls on certain colors or certain numbers, you gamble and you win. Oh, my God. I mean, you don't know what else these people are coming up for. Burt Ward. People might know Burt Ward. might not know Burt Ward or even heard of the name. Burt Ward did a lot of things. He became a manager for a lot of rock and roll bands after he was, of course, Robin the Boy Wonder with Adam West on the Batman TV show. Burt Ward would played Robin, of course. Some heroes don't wear capes, but we simply forget their kindness saves lives every single day. Burt Ward, once known to the world as Robin from Batman, has traded movie sets to rescue kettles, dedicating his life to saving dogs with no one else. Him and his wife share a home, share their home with 50 rescued dogs, each one given love and safety. Together, they're called Gentle Giants Rescue. The couple has saved more than 15,000 dogs. So thank you to Burt Ward and his wife doing some things for dogs, which you got to love. Some of these stories I'm going to hold off on, folks, because it's just mind-boggling. How about McDonald's triple cheeseburgers has 32 grams of protein and just 530 calories? If you think about this, if you go to McDonald's and you have, and you have a sandwich, a burger. If you have the burger and you don't have the Diet Coke and you don't have the French fries, it's a pretty good thing to eat. McDonald's burgers have crazy Marcos. That's what it's called. A triple cheeseburger has 530 calories and 32 grams of protein. I switched to order these over McDoubles. Okay, so not bad for you? I don't know. Is it worth it? Give it a shot. Give it a shot. McDonald's, I don't know. They're trying to make things healthier. Michael Jordan, of course, of the great Chicago Bulls, didn't want Nike. Of course, Nike is the brand, of course, makes Air Jordan shoes. He wanted Adidas. He said no until his mom says, you're going to listen. Nike offered $500,000 a year and his own line of Air Jordans. His mom asked for equity, giving him a cut of every pair sold. Nike expected $3 million in 4 years, but they made $126 million in 1 year. Today, the Jordan brand is worth $10 billion, and he earns $400 million plus a year, all because his mom said yes when he said no. Michael Jordan taking advice from mom, and there it goes. Mom is always right. Fox 32 News, breaking news, federal judge in Chicago orders release of 615 people detained by ICE. That's a whole other story. And I'm this close to getting an ICE person on the show. This close. Keep our fingers crossed because we're going to try to get one on. So I like to hear this guy out or hear this woman out, this guy, to see because there's so much backlash with ICE out there, whatever your opinion is on it. It's interesting, and I'm hoping to get somebody on here so they can actually. I like to hear their perspective, and which I found out that they actually want to be on the show or willing to talk about it is what I thought was very important. Very cool. This is Ocean's Pick. This is Black Friday, folks. And again, we really appreciate when you guys, whatever you guys have, this is what I like about this show. Good or bad, like it what it is. We're not all going to agree on certain stuff, but I do thank all you guys who take the time and do watch the show. We got a busy week. Tonight is Black Friday, of course. We'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg. Tomorrow we'll be at Bellagio in Roselle with the main event band. And we don't know. We'll see. Some people say 10 inches. Some people say 6 inches. I don't know. Shows coming up on the 13th of December. We'll be at the Lyric Theater with Ocean's Rat Pack. 2 shows, one at 2 and one at 6 at the Lyric Theater in Blue Island holiday show. On the 18th, we'll be at Bellagio again for a special Christmas show. Also, December 3rd, we'll also be at Rosario's for a special Christmas show. That's a Wednesday night. On the 27th of December, Tony Ocean Birthday Bash will be at Taverna on Division. It's going to be a lot of fun with Double T. And then the main event band will be on the south side of Chicago on the 28th of December with some special guests, JMO's 3 to 7 in the afternoon. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, of course, New Year's Eve. Make your plans for Avanti's Banquets in Fox River Grove, owned by the Chicago Prime Steakhouse family or Chicago Prime Italian family. AJ and George, the whole family, own Avanti Banquets in Fox River Grove. We were there about 4 years ago, for New Year's Eve. It's $130 per person, steak and lobster, all the goodies, open bar, all desserts, all that crazy stuff, and champagne toast, everything. $130 a person. Not a bad deal. Avanti Banquets on New Year's Eve. All right, birthdays. We have a lot of birthdays of the last couple of days that I missed. So let's get right to Scott Baio celebrating a birthday. Meg Ryan, 66 years old. Lauren Green, Bonanza, celebrating a birthday. Richard Dawson, my favorite guy from Family Feud, Richard Dawson. Pete Cy Hodges, Nick's brother-in-law. Peter, if you're watching, happy belated birthday. Chevy Chase, 82 years old. Chicago legend Steve Dahl, one of my favorites. Loved him. Alan Young, Mr. Ed, celebrating a birthday. A great Chicago entertainer, Ollie Bowles, celebrating a birthday. Dick Smothers, Tommy and Dick, the Smothers brothers. Dick's 87 years old. Pete Best, former drummer of the Beatles before Ringo Starr. That's right. Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, celebrating a birthday. Dwayne Allman, celebrating a birthday. Kathy Narducci from The Irishman and Bronx Tale, 60 years old. Roland Winters, Charlie Chan, love him. Robert Vaughn, Man from Uncle. Jeff Murphy, great band from Zion, Illinois, called Shoes. Boris Karloff, one of my favorites, celebrating a birthday. Billie J. King, former tennis pro. My good friend Filippo from Villaggio, celebrating a birthday. And my good friend Greg and Jennifer from Taverna on Division. Their son Vinny turned 21 years old a couple days ago. So happy birthday to Vinny out there, guys. Guys, we're back Tuesday, not Monday. Tuesday we'll be back. So next week we only have a show on Tuesday and Friday, just 2 days of Ocean's Pit next week. We want to thank you all for watching the show today. We really really love you guys for doing it and watching the show, and I hope you like some of the topics. And last minute stocking stuffers or holiday gifts, Mama D's Breads are back, up and running now for the holidays. Happy holiday flavors: pumpkin chocolate chip, cranberry peppermint, caramel apple, banana blueberry, chocolate chip lemon. The list goes on and on. Text my sister Natalie at 847-533-0400 or private message her Natalie Bosch. That's Bosch. Bread start at $11. Order early for the holidays. Good stuff, man. Thank you for everybody that's been ordering Mama D's Breads. You will not be disappointed. That I promise you. Emo, you're the best too, my brother. I really do appreciate you guys watching. And of course, let's get to my good friends, Ace Hardware. Today, Black Friday, 25% off all Carhartt clothes while supplies last. You can't beat that, folks. And get your kid or maybe a senior a pet. They don't want a real dog or a real cat. What about something called Peds? Petzz. Pets. That's right, folks. You got to love them. Lifelike sleeping pets that breathe. They're wonderful companions for seniors and children, providing a lifelike, loving ownership experience. It starts at $35.99. And be sure to stock up on your Christmas decoration supplies. 20% off all Celebration Christmas lighting. And that starts December 2nd. But so much go. Don't forget that $10 free Ace gift card when you buy a $50 Ace card, 2 per limit. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Guys, we will be back on Twisted Tuesday with Carol Brandolino. You have a nice Black Friday. Have a nice, great weekend, and go out and support local establishments, live entertainment. Be kind to one another out there, folks. And just because you're offended on this show doesn't mean you're right. And life is too short. Come out, enjoy. Life is too short. Be kind to one another, because even thankful for everything that we have. I know we take it for granted every day. Wake up, we yawn, we make a cup of coffee, whatever the hell we do, but we don't actually say thank you. Thank you that we're alive and we're healthy, or whatever we're going through. And if everybody's going through some problems right now, if you know of anybody that is, pick up the phone. The text is nice, but pick up the phone. Hey, man, how you doing? Just checking in on you. You know, it's important. You have an incredible day today, guys. Have an incredible weekend, and let's hope that we don't get all that crazy snow. Guys, buy local, shop local, support local establishments. And Ringo and John Lennon would say peace and love. Have an incredible weekend, everybody. God bless you. Nick Sahajas, take us out. Bye-bye.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
Peace and love. God bless you all. See you next time.